Okay, now that you've watched the movie, with the introduction of the terms directrix and focus, looking at this picture here, which was similar to the movie in the video in the Khan movie, this orange line right down here. Let me get the. Not that interested in the eraser. It would help me if I could get the orange line. Let's see if I can pick up one here. Maybe a pen. If I look at the green parabola, in the diagram, I can see here's the focus, the point that is inside of the parabola, and then the directrix is going to be equidistant from the focus to the vertex as the vertex is to the directrix. So in other words, this line right here and this line right here have the same distance. This is just the vertex, the low point of the parabola. Okay, so let me get this around here. So now when we look at, let's look at the next page. And sometimes we have a parabola that opens sideways, either to the left or to the right, and this one opens up to the right. And I see that our focus is right here, P0. We're using P for the distance. So P0 is right here, and yes, it's in the center of the parabola. And if you notice, if we use this orange line as our directrix, the orange line is going to be equidistant from the vertex, which is right here, to the directrix, and it has the same distance from this vertex point to where the focus point is. And that's very important because we'll be writing our equations with that information. So this must be a little bit fuzzy for you right now, and with all these extra lines and everything, it can get a little bit fuzzy, but remember it's an introduction, and we're not going to have you do the really, really hard things, but we just want to look at parabolas and get a general idea and be able to write the general equation. So for a parabola that's opening up, this is going to look like x squared equals, and the formula is 4py. When it's opening down, it's going to be x squared equals negative 4py. And when a parabola is opening to the right, it will look like y squared equals 4px. And when it opens to the left, it will look like y squared equals negative 4py. So first of all is distinguishing between up and down, that's the x's, right and left, that's the y's. Okay, up is positive, down is negative. To the right is positive, to the left will be negative. And those are just some main ideas that will keep you focused on some of the main things that we're going to be doing. Okay, so now we go on to, and let me just get some of this out of here because it's hard to read. And we'll answer our own questions now. Okay, determine the direction of the parabola, up, down, right, or left. So let's look at this. This little parabola here, y squared, tells me left or right. And it equals, this is 4px. So 8 stands for 4p. So since it is a positive, that means this is going to be opening right. Because y squared, my choices were left or right. And it's positive, so that means right. Now this one I'm going to figure out a little bit. If I multiply this side of my equation by negative 4, so I'm going to take this whole side and multiply it by the number negative 4 times negative 1/4, I'll get a positive 1. But I have to do the same to the other side. So I will have on the left side x squared equals negative 4y. y. So now I know, I'm sorry, I put x, y. So now I know that since it's x squared, it should open up or down. But since this side is negative, that tells me it's going to actually open down. Okay, and 16x equals negative 16y. Now x squared, that's the up or down parabola. If it's negative, it moves down. Okay, y's alone, and it equals a negative 1x. So y squared equals a negative, so that means it's going to be going left. Y's only go left or right. X squares go up or down. Okay, here they're showing us, here's the focus right here, here's the vertex, the lowest point of the vertex, and notice how the directrix is just a line and it's equidistant to the vertex as the focus is to the vertex. So this line, that little line, and this line are going to be the same length. Same thing works when we have x squared where p is less than 1, when we have a negative, and the vertex opens upside down, you could say. The focus is somewhere inside the parabola. Well, here's the vertex of the parabola, its high point. So the distance from the formula to the vertex is going to be the same as from the directrix to the vertex. Going in the opposite direction. The directrix is not inside of the parabola as the focus is. Okay, so now let's look at some of these and draw some better pictures, hopefully. Now, we want to determine the direction of the parabola. Right, left, up, down. So if we have a vertex, and certainly we can sketch some of these, so that's not a bad deal. We can sketch them, choose a color. If we have a vertex and a focus, our vertex is at 0, 0, and our focus is going to be at 4, 0. So we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 0. We're not going to go up or down. So here's our focus right here. So this gives me an indication that our directrix is going to be going the opposite direction. This went 4 to the right, say, and the directrix is going to be back here, and it's going 4 to the left. Okay, so since the focus has to be inside of the parabola, I know that my focus is going to open to the right. Okay, on the next one, our vertex is at 0, 0. Okay, so there's our focus, our vertex, and our focus is at 0, negative 2. So we're going down this way. So remembering that the focus is always on the inside of the parabola will be opening down. The vertex will be just as far from the vertex as the focus is, same distance, only he's going to be out this way, drawing his straight line. Okay, so this one is down. So I'm thinking this one's x squared, something negative. This one is y squared, something positive. Now let's try this third one. Let's see, we have a focus that's at negative 6, 0. So somewhere out here, negative 6, 0. So it's inside the parabola, and the parabola has a vertex over here at 0, 0. So that means our parabola will be going this way, since the focus is inside the parabola. It's actually on the line that divides the parabola into half. So now we can already see we've got a parabola that is opening left. Okay, so a little bit of practice here now. we've got a vertex at 0, 0, and we've got a focus at negative 7, 0. And we are going to determine the equation of the directrix. Okay, so if you want to sketch off to the side, you can. Put in a little sketch here. Maybe you can even make yours straight. The focus is going to be at negative 7, so that means I'm here. I'm going to go straight down to negative 7, and I don't go right or left. Actually, that's not what I meant. Shoot. I think I should have put it when negative 7 this way, and it didn't go up or down. Mrs. Yem is getting awfully tired, heading to the doctor after school, so I'm trying to make some sense here, even though I'm getting so tired. Okay, so since the focus is at negative 7, that gives us our x value, 0, and our vertex is here, and since the focus has to be inside of our parabola, we know our parabola is going to be going this way. So since it's going to the left, and we know it must be a y, so we're going to write y squared equals, and since we have it going to the left, and we know that the equation of the directrix would have to be x equals 7, because from the vertex to the focus we have 7 units, and so the directrix would be going the other way 7 units, and its line is right here. So the name of the line would be x equals 7. So we're just giving the name of that directrix line. Okay, let's try over here. We have a vertex at 0, 0, and we have a focus at 0, 9. So let's just take a minute to look at where is that focus. So we know our vertex is here, and if we don't go either way, 0, 0, but we do go up 9, okay, we're going to have a focus way up here. So that means our parabola is going to go that way. Okay, that means our directrix, if this is at 0, 9, has to be 0, negative 9, going the other way. So the directrix line is going to be equal to y equals negative 9. Okay, because the focal point is at 9, positive 9. We're going to go the opposite direction, and this line, the directrix, will be at negative 9. Okay, on C, we have a vertex at 3, 0. There's our vertex. Our focus is at 3, 0. Vertex 0, 0. Focus 3, 0. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so here's our big focus. So since our vertex is here and our focus is in here, which way is this going to be opening? And that's right, it's going to be opening to the right, because the focus is always included. And our directrix, since this is 3 above the vertex, our directrix will be 3 below the vertex. And we just need to come up with the name of a line that goes through x equals negative 3. 1, 2, 3. I think our name is x equals negative 3. And that's going to be our focus. So you can draw a picture to see where that focal point is going to be, the focus, and that helps you determine where the directrix is going to be. Now in the next one, we're just going to do the opposite. We're going to determine the focal point given the directrix. Okay, so if I have a vertex of 0, 0, and there's our 0, 0, and a directrix at y equals negative 3. So here's y. So 1, 2, 3. That's our directrix right down there. Okay, remember they said the vertex is right here at 0, 0, and we are 3 units below it, so the focus point would be 3 units above it. So the focus point, instead of being down here, is up here, 3 units up, and we could say that the focus point is at 0, didn't go right or left, and up 3. Okay, in B, we have a vertex at 0, 0, and the directrix is x equals 5. Okay, so we've got a line, and where does x equal 5? Okay, somewhere out here, that's where x is 5. So here's our directrix. Okay, and since the vertex is here, we're thinking, well, we better go 5 this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because then they will each be 5 units away from the vertex. So here is our focal point, and our parabola is going to go like that. And let's see, what are the coordinates? We must have moved -5 because we went to the left. -5, but we didn't go up or down, so 0. Okay, now over here, if the vertex is 0, 0, draw a little picture there. Vertex is 0, 0 on a coordinate plane, and the directrix is x equals -8. Okay, x equals -8, so we're going to go all the way out here into the negatives and call that -8. Okay, so if x equals -8, that means our line is going down, up and down, which would look better if I did it this way. X equals -8. Okay, so there's our x equals -8, kind of a thick line, but maybe you get the idea better. And we have gone 8 units to the left, so now to find our focus, we need to go 8 units to the right, and we'll end here. Okay, because here's our halfway point, the vertex. So over here, the coordinates would be 8, 0. 8 units this way, 8 units that way. Okay, number 5, determine the equation of the parabola. Okay. Now, parabola equation can be a little bit tricky, but we'll see if we can do it pretty easily. The parabola equation looks like x squared, let's see, where am I on the pad? X squared, I think we'll write them up here. Maybe I should go into a drastically different color. Let's get a little blue going. We're going to put these down. The equations look like x squared equals 4px, or it looks like y squared equals 4py. I meant this is y and this is x. God, this is terrible. And I don't have a good eraser. Let me see what this one can possibly get it to do. Ooh, that was weird. Never had fighting erasers like this. Okay, now I'm going back to hopefully pick a decent pen. And when we have x squared equals 4p something, it's 4py. And when we have y squared equals 4p something, it equals 4px. Now, much better. Okay, so if I have a vertex of 0, 0, and I have a directrix of -8, okay, that means my line y equals -8. If I draw a picture, I've got this going here, and y equals -8 is some number down here where it's evenly going across though. And that means that if this is 8 units down, my focus is 8 units up. So my focus would be right here, and that focus would be at 0, 8. Okay, because 8 units down is directrix, 8 units up then is the focus. Okay, so I've got the picture. Now I need to put it into my formula. I'm going to be going up, and it's going to be going like this because oops, don't want to go below my 0, 0. And I'm going to be going up, so I know that. So it should look like x squared equals, and since 4 and p, 4, I put in the 8, the p stands for the distance, 8, y, okay? Again, the 8 stands for the distance from the focus to the vertex, and it's the same distance as vertex to the directrix, so that goes into the equation there. 4 times 8, the distance, times y, and so we get x squared equals 4 times 8, which is 32y. Okay, and the next one, let's see, if we have a vertex at 0, 0, and our focus is at 0, -4, let's just look and see what that one looks like. So our focus is at 0, -4. So here's our focus. And we have a vertex at 0, 0. So I'm going to start down, and I'm going to start down. She's going to be in the middle. And now I want to know, what is the directrix? What is the equation? Well, since this was 4, I know 4 going in the opposite direction, 4 away from that vertex, is where my directrix line will be, okay? And that directrix line is labeled at y equals 4. So it's easy to see we have units of 4 for p. Remember, p is the distance. So since it's going down, I can say x squared equals, and 4 times 4 in the, this is a -4, times the 4 in the equation gives us x squared equals -16y. Okay, there's only two things we're looking for, and that's the focus and the vertex. Okay, let's look at this last one on page 12. The vertex is 0, 0. The vertex, I'm skipping you around there, buddy, don't know why. I want to get over here. Okay, so the vertex, don't know why it just doesn't cross straight. The vertex is at 0, 0. The focus is at 5, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0. Okay, so if that's the focus, and the focus has to be inside of the parabola, and the parabola can only go as far as the vertex, I'm going to take a sketch and say that's what it looks like. Okay, it probably would have been up like that. So since it's 5 units this way, our directrix, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is going to be 5 units this way. Okay, that one's the focus. Here's the vertex. This line is the directrix. So since we're opening to the right, we know it's a y squared. We know it'll be positive, so we want to say 5, and the number is 4, because that's our p. 5 times 4 times x, which equals y squared equals 20x. Okay, and if you have any trouble as you move along, first identifying up, down, left, right, maybe Mr. Dryer can help you. Now make sure that you turn in your papers from the week. If you didn't finish in your factoring papers, factoring as a complete circle, just go ahead and staple it to the back of your packet so you have that, and I will be able to see you tomorrow and look it over. Okay? So have a good weekend, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Bye.